Hello students, a very good morning to all of you. Today I welcome the students of standard 5th to the online classes of computer. In the previous class we have almost finished our chapter number 1 and I have already shared the PDF of exercise A, B and C with you. So today I am going to share the PDF of exercise D, that is answer the following questions, and exercise E, that is write the uses of the followings with you. So you have to write the exercise D and exercise E, both question and answers, in the computer Fairbook. Okay students, I repeat it once again that the exercise D and exercise E you have to write in the computer Fairbook. The PDF of the question answers and the uses of the following I will share with you today. Okay, so here we have finished our chapter number 1. So now we will move forward to chapter number 2, that is generation of computers. So let us start with an introduction. The computers we see today have been developed part by many scientists. In fact, the history of computers comprises a gradual development from the simple abacus to the electronic computers we use today. It means that we can see that many generations are there. Our grandfather is the first generation, then our father is the second generation, and we are third generation of them. Okay, so in the same way a computer is also divided into many generations. The first generation computers have some limitations which was overcome by, or which was limited, it was removed by the second generation. Then the second generation also have some limitations which was overcome and removed by the third generation computers. It means that many scientists has designed the computer step by step. So in the year 1837, Charles Babbage, who was a British scientist, made the first computer. It was a mechanical computer which could do very large calculations. Since then, many people have contributed to the improvement of computers. So the very first computer was invented by the British scientist Charles Babbage in the year 1837. So Charles Babbage is also known as the father of computers because he was the first inventor of the computer. So a very first computer which Charles Babbage has invented was a mechanical computer. It means it can perform very large calculations. Very large numeric calculations a computer is able to perform. Then afterwards many improvements were done in the field of computer, which was done by other scientists, or many other people have also contributed, have given the level best to improve the first generation computers. It means to improve the computer which was built by Charles Babbage. Then the history of the computers is often referred as a different generations of computers. With every generation of computer, there was a major development of technology. As a result, computer becomes smaller, cheaper, more powerful and more efficient. It means that in the every generation some improvement were there, or some major development were there in the term of technology. It means as the result, in the first generation computers were slow, then the second generation computers become fast, third generation become more faster, and so on. So as the generation, or as the result, the time passes on, the computers have become more smaller, cheaper, more powerful and more efficient. So far we know about 5 different generations to the computers. It means that there are 5 generations of the computer. So first we will move further to the first generation computer. So the time period of the first generation computer is 1940 to 1956. The first generation computers were in use between 1940 and 1956. Scientists uses vacuum tubes as processors in them. They were so big that they occupied an entire room. It means that vacuum tubes are used. You can see that now vacuum tube mobile stands are also available. It means the downside vacuum is that which stick to the smooth surface. We can see that in some shops on the mirror some hanging clothes are there. So that is stick using a vacuum. It can get stick easily in the smooth surface, in the mirror, on the table, on the floor, on the tiles, on the board. It means that anything that is having a smooth surface, a vacuum tube is easily stick to it, and you can place anything on that vacuum tube. It means the first generation computers were built using the vacuum tubes. It means that vacuum tubes were used as a processor. So they were very big in size and they occupied the entire room. Here you can see that this is an images of the vacuum tube. Can you see students? Yes, so this is an vacuum tube. They are very big in size and the entire room is occupied by these vacuum tubes. Now we will discuss about the some features of the first generation computers that are listed below. First is their speed was quite low and power consumption was very high. That the speed is very low, it means they are not fast, they perform the calculations very slowly, and it requires more electricity, more power it requires. It means that more bill is generated while using the computer built with vacuum tubes. It requires more electricity. Second, inputs in such computers were in the form of punched cards and paper types. Punch cards are there. In the form of punch cards and the paper types, the inputs are given to the computers. Third is their programming capacity was very low. It means that they cannot perform many programs together. What is a program? First, a program is a set of instructions which is used to implement step by step. So, as a computer is very big in size and it performs the calculations very slowly. So, the programming capacity of a computer was very low. Fourth, they could not store much data. It means that the memory of the first generation computers were very less. So, it cannot store more amount of data. Fifth, they were huge in size and very expensive. They were very big in size. It means it occupied the entire room to keep this computer. So, they were very big in size and also very expensive. They were very costly. It means if you want to buy a computer, first generation computer, then you have to pay a big amount for that. Okay, so here are some examples of the first generation computers. First was ADVAC, second is Mark I, third is ENIAC, fourth EDSAC, and fifth is UNIVAC1. Okay, so let's see this all computers in details. So first is EDVAC. The full form of EDVAC is Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. So the inventor of this computer was John Fresfer, Eckert and John V. McCauley, and it was invented in the year 1944. And what were the features of this computer? Weighted approximately 8,000 kilograms. It means that it was very heavy. Then it is stored for both programs and data. It means it can store both the data and the programs. Then it is the very first electronic computer to use binary system. What is binary system? It means a computer can understand only its machine language in the binary form. So 101010 only the data is stored. It means it was the very first computer to use the binary system. It means 1010 method. Now the second one is Mark I. So the inventor of the Mark I computer was Howard H. Aiken, and it was also invented in the year 1944. Now features of the Mark I computer, it was first fully automatic calculator. It means that it can perform the calculations automatically. Then slow in performing calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. It was the first fully automatic calculator, but it can perform the calculations very slowly. It means the calculations like arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. It means that such calculations are performed very slowly in this Mark I computer. Third is ENIAC, that stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It was invented by John Fresfer, Eckert and John V. McCauley, and it was invented in the year 1946. Weighted more than 27,000 kilograms. It means that the weight of this computer was very high. 27,000 kilograms a computer weight is there. First programmable general purpose electronic digital computer. It was the very first programmable computer. It means that many programs we can perform using this computer. It was capable of solving a wide range of numerical problems. It means that the numerical problems are solved very easily. The calculations performed by these computers are capable of solving the high number of numerical problems. It means that high calculations are also possible using this computer. Had no stored programs. The limitation of this computer means that it has no memory. There is not possible to store any of the programs using this computer. Now the fourth one is EDSAC, stands for Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. It was invented by Professor M. Wilkes in the year 1949. and the feature of these computers are its weight is approximately 6000 kilograms. It means that comparing with the ENIAC, it is less weighted. It means the weight is less than other computer. It was the first full-size stored program computer. It means that all the programs are stored in this computer. So it was very first stored program computer. Now the last one is UNIVAC1, stands for Universal Automatic Computer, and it was built by John Fresfer Eckert and John V. McCulley in the year 1951. The weight of this computer is 13,000 kilogram, which is lesser than ENIAC and heavier than 6000. It means it was lighter than ENIAC and heavier than EDSAC. It means that the weight is average. So it was the second commercially available electronic computer. It means commercial, it means it can be used in various organizations and institutions. Third is handled both numbers and alphabetic characters properly. It means that the user can input the data via the alphabets also and via the numbers also. It means it was the very first alphanumeric character computer which can accept the input in the form of numbers and in the form of alphabets also. So here we have studied about the first generation computers. So let us repeat it once again, that which are the first generation computer. First is EDVAC, second is Mark I, third is ENIAC, fourth is EDSAC, and fifth is UNIVAC1. Okay students, so here we have finished the chapter, we have finished the first point of our chapter number 2, that is first generation computer. Now we will move forward with the second generation computer in our next session. Okay students, bye bye, have a great day ahead.